From Richard Branson's epic water fight in Season 9 to David Schwimmer dropping in like a friend on Shark Tank, let's dive into a list of all the surprising celebrity appearances on Shark Tank. But hey, let me declare right off the bat, nothing can top what Richard Branson did. Now the billionaire has crashed into Shark Tank not once, but twice during Season 9, and he made a splash each time he showed up. In his first appearance, he shook things up by making a deal with Sierra Madre Research, coughing up a cool $175,000 for a 15% stake. But as usual, there was a twist. Branson pledged that he'll be donating the entire 15% profit he earns into a charity of the contestant's choice. Talk about swimming for good causes! But that's not the only time Branson made our eyes pop. Next, when Simple Habit, a meditation app, pitched their idea into the tank, things got a little heated between Richard and Mark Cuban. So much so that they actually got into a face-off when the almighty CEO of the Virgin Group doused Cuban with a glass of water. Oh, and if you're taking Mark took it well, think again, because in return, he threw his drink right into Branson's face. You can imagine the surprised eye popping in the audience. But things got even more bizarre when the next episode aired, because in that one, Branson and Cuban's behavior had totally changed. They were spotted chumming it up and talking endlessly about 3D printing and rocket ships between pitches as if nothing had happened the episode before. Now, either they'd gotten a good earful from their PR agencies, or they'd decided to let bygones be bygones. But I gotta say, Richard Branson's appearance on the show was nothing less than a shark-infested roller coaster of emotions. Enough about him, though. Now, let's switch gears from Branson's wild water fight to the infamous Chris Sacca and his eventful appearances on Shark Tank. The lowercase capital owner made waves in the tank during Season 7 and 8, putting his money into a whopping 6 companies. Gotta spend that money somewhere, right? But here's the scoop. Sacca seemed to have a bone to pick with Mark Cuban every single time. In fact, he was so adamant on opposing him that he questioned every piece of advice Cuban dished out, like a relentless shark. Oh, and did I mention his obsession with Uber? Sacca couldn't help but mention it at every opportunity, making it seem like the holy grail of all his investments. Okay, dude, we get it, you're a pro investor. Can we move on now? But to give credit where it's due, the fact remains that Sacca has probably invested more dough than any other guest shark in the show's history. He's also dropped a lot of wisdom bombs on the entrepreneurs, making him one of my favorite guest sharks on the show. Another cool guest to grace the shark stage, though, was Kevin Hart. The comedian turned entrepreneur was a first-timer on the show, but that didn't stop him from making waves and throwing in some money. In fact, on his very first guest shark appearance, he invested $500,000 in a venture, proving that comedy isn't the only thing he has an eye for. There was a moment in the episode where it seemed he wasn't being taken seriously, especially by Kevin O'Leary, who almost bullied him at one point. But Hart was smart enough to ignore that and gave the contestants his full attention, which was surprising because I bet everyone just thought he was there as comic relief. Another surprise guest shark on the show was Ashton Kutcher, whose persona as the goofy stoner from that 70s show precedes him so well, it's hard to imagine him as a sharp, savvy business guy. But don't take him lightly, folks, because Kutcher's early investments in Uber, Skype, and Airbnb have all made him some pretty pennies. Plus, he apparently has a lot of business knowledge, which became apparent when he took in his first pitch. He even struck a deal with The Bebo, a baby bottle variant producer that sounded relatable to him as a dad. At least, I won't be underestimating Kelso again after this. He was also quite a hero in the episode when he challenged O'Leary for giving a contestant a hard time. Charming and smart, Mila Kunis must be proud. But not every guest shark has been this savvy and cool. In fact, there's a corner on Reddit and Twitter where fans love to hate on some of the surprising celebrities who grace the show. One of whom is Peter Jones. The self-proclaimed Mr. Global certainly knew how to make his presence felt in the tank, but while some fans found him assertive and captivating, not everyone was on board with his larger-than-life persona. Let's be real, labeling himself Mr. Global raised a few eyebrows. I mean, we already have the notorious Mr. Wonderful in the mix, you know. Kevin O'Leary, trying to be another Mr. something, felt a tad unoriginal, don't you think? It's like trying to fit into a crowded party by wearing the the same flashy outfit as someone else, but Jones wasn't entirely bad. With experience from another show that's eerily similar to Shark Tank, he knew how to assert himself and cut right to the chase. You couldn't help but admire his precision. Plus, at least he didn't dump his water on anyone, right? But there was one guest shark who came pretty close. Can you guess her name? The one and only Bethenny Frankel. The Skinny Girl owner and Real Housewives of New York City alum has been on the show a good few times, but fans haven't really warmed up to her much. If anything, they're done with her behavior, calling her obnoxious, controversial, and totally insufferable. And I think I know why. In a truly unexpected twist, Bethenny Frankel showcased her unwavering devotion to her dogs, insisting a pet bathing tool product owner that if she invested, they had to feature her puppies on the packaging cover. I mean, I love dogs too, but isn't that a bit much? That isn't your product, woman, so why should your pups be on it? Oh, and this wasn't even her worst appearance on the show. There was that other time when sparks flew, eyes popped, and people gasped when she played the mom card when Yumble presented their pitch. The brand, which focused on kid-friendly meal deliveries, was obviously meant for a particular demographic, but that didn't mean only moms could invest in it, right? Bethenny thought that was exactly the case, though, because she took no time in asserting that she was better suited to invest in the business than the queen of QVC herself, Lori Greiner. Why? Because Frankel was a mom and Lori wasn't. Ouch. That wasn't her best moment on the show, I'll agree. And fans have called her argument totally over the top, which is also true. But at least she brought some well-intended drama to the show, right? Which is the total opposite of what Steve Tisch brought to the mix, which was total and utter boredom. Fans were surprised because, being the owner of the New York Giants and the producer of Forrest Gump, he definitely is one of the best suited people to be on the show. But according to viewers, he's not made for TV, only business deals and savvy investments. Which is fair enough, because who said you had to be interesting to be rich, right? The same applied to Maria Sharapova, whose recent drug controversy was a pretty big point of debate for fans, who couldn't decide whether she was the right guest shark to endorse or not. But hey, it's important to remember that the world of business is full of unexpected twists and turns. Sharapova, known for her tenacity on the tennis court, showed that she could channel that same determination into her business endeavors. Despite the controversy surrounding her, she brought a unique perspective to the tank. Plus, whether you agreed with her past actions or not, there's no denying that the superstar player's presence added an extra layer of intrigue to the show. So love her or question her? Maria Sharapova proved that, in both tennis and business, the line between success and controversy can be a fine one. Her appearance on the show kept us all guessing, making each episode a thrilling game of strategy and negotiation. But while all these guest sharks appeared on the show with investment intentions, my last pick was there only for the feels. Enter David Schwimmer, who made a surprise appearance on the show to show his support for a couple of friends pitching their popcorn flour alternative. Little did he know the tables would turn and he would be the one in for a surprise, because as he walked out carrying a tray of pancakes, he found none other than Gwyneth Paltrow as the guest shark. Gwyneth's reaction and her happy smile said it all as David got his greetings in with the rest of the judges. It was a cute reunion for the two, who appeared in the 1996 film The Pallbearer. Obviously, the pitch was the ultimate showstopper, but that didn't stop these guys from adding some extra excitement to the episode. And so there you have it, from Schwimmer making a friendly appearance in an episode to Branson raising eyebrows with his aggressive moves. These were all of the most surprising celebrity guest appearances on Shark Tank of all time.